So welcome back to another day in the garage. We're going to be attacking the Tiger 800, the one we bought as a budget bike. Today we're going to be replacing some items on the starting system again. We've got the new battery, we've got the new starter motor, and we've got the starter relay. We're also going to be taking out the wiring around that area just to check that everything's okay, because I have heard a couple of comments about the wiring going bad or the terminals going bad. So we're going to be checking those out today to make sure there's no faults in that area. So let's take a look at what we're doing today. So it's been brought to my attention that there should be a earth from the engine to an earth point on the frame, not to rely on the bolts that hold the engine in for that earth. Now it has been removed on this bike for some reason, but the actual earthing point was on a mount, from what I've been able to ascertain from the workshop manual, on the side of this case. So the earth mount was at the back there on here, and then it run up and then onto the earth of the frame. So what I've done is I've added an earth point there. I've run a bit of earthing cable, which is identified by the yellow and green, because this is what I had to remind me that it could be an earth. And then I'm going to bring that all the way up around here, and it's going to join on the earth that's going to be on the battery. So no reason to suspect we haven't got a good earth or a good ground on the engine now. So I've just taken this bolt off here along with all the connections, cleaned them all up, and that bolt and that wire leads out to the earth on the battery. So as you can see, the wire goes underneath the ABS pump and then out here. So we should have a good earth on the engine. So I've come across maybe one little bit of information regarding the starter motor and the earth circuit. So obviously you've got a wire that will go to the relay. The wire goes then to the top of the starter motor, and that's the power in feed. The earth itself, we're relying on 2 bolts and maybe the end of the housing. And what I have found, only because I've tried it on the battery, is that the powder coating that's on the actual starter motor may be restricting the earth circuit at the back, or it's trying to get the earth through this end. Obviously you've got the o-ring at the end that's doing the seal and the centralization, so we're not getting things through there. But so maybe this end is the only end that's making the earth. Now what I have tried is I've put the terminals across the battery with the powder coating still on, and as I do that we don't get any motor running. So let me just show you what I mean. So we've got as negative and as positive. Now this should work straight away. So if I put that on there and we put that across there, what we should have is a circuit to make the motor, and as you can see, motor's not working. So we've got a problem there. If I then move it to the other end, we get the motor working. So this is now becoming the only earth point that we've got. Now the bolts at the back are supposed to be locating bolts to hold the motor, but also I'm assuming if these are cleaned off, this will get a better earth onto the engine. So without the complete circuit, then this will be a weak point. So cleaning off the backs with a bit of sandpaper to make sure we've got a good contact, maybe restore the actual earth circuit. It's worth a try, because nothing else I've done so far has seemed to work. Someone mentioned that on this cable here that they had to replace it on their bike. The bike was the same year as this one is, so I thought it might have been that. That's one reason why it's not on the bike today. I've cleaned up the terminals at the end. I've ensured there's continuity through the cable, so at least I know the cable's good. So what I'm going to do now is clean the backs off and then reinstall it. Again, a bit of a nightmare. It takes about half an hour to actually get the motor back in place. So as you can probably see now, we've cleaned off both sections of the mount, so that should now give us a good earth onto the case. I'm also going to try and get in there with the sandpaper and clean up the area where this touches on the back of the engine. At least then I'll be sure that we've got a good earth. So as you can see down there, we've got the two holes that locate the starter motor and that little third bracket there that needs to be used to locate on the bolt that holds the starter motor, and that's just holding the wiring out in place. So here's another shot of that same area. So obviously your starter motor goes across this and bolts onto them two bolts. They're 8mm. It is very tight in there, so if you've got larger fingers you might struggle. We're going to try again to get this back in, and again we will struggle to get it back in, but you know, it's all part of the fun, or that's what they say anyway. So on the front bolt I've put a 8mm deep socket. This is 2 inches long, and that enables you to get the front bolt through the side. So that one there, the 2-inch one, will enable you to get down to that bolt. You'll only get a few clicks on the ratchet as you're moving it around, but the extension on the top enables you to get all the way down there to that bolt to tighten that up. But I have finished it off with the socket anyway. The other thing I've done is I've bought another relay. The reason why I bought another relay is I wasn't sure whether or not the problem was actually the relay. So this is a new one. It's exactly the same. The bolts are 10mm rather than 8, but apart from that it looks exactly the same. I'm hoping that in conjunction with the earthing that we've done on that, and along with this, we're now going to be able to get full power from the battery down to the motor. But we'll be giving it a go once I've got everything back down there. As you can appreciate, there's quite a few plugs down here. We've got to take off that sensor again and make everything as it was before, so we can get the battery back in. So today's job was basically putting everything back on the bike, making sure everything worked, and hopefully we got the starting issue solved. So the biggest one I've spotted up to now is the amount of corrosion on the wiring, on the earth, on the live, on the starter, on the relay. The only thing that we've done really is clean all them up and ensure that they are tight. Now if you do remember last time, it sounded like it had a flat battery and it wouldn't turn over. So we've done a service, we've changed his plugs, we've done his air filter, we've done the starter motor and we fitted the new battery, we've cleaned all the terminal, we've checked all the fuses, so hopefully now everything will work. So let's give it a go. And the good sign is we've got lights on the dashboard, everything's working there. So possibly a little bit later on I'll be taking the tank off, taking the pump out, checking the float and looking for anything other what might be a problem. Not sure what we're going to find when we take the tank off. It's on loosely at the moment, so that should come off fairly easy. They're normally just a couple of wires or clips on and a couple of plugs and one for the fuel, so that should be nice and easy. So the issues that we've got with the Triumph Tiger 800 are basically starting, or inability to start. It is a common problem. Most people, from what I've seen on the forums, are moaning about it not starting when it's hot and having to leave it to cool down, because obviously the starter motor is located right at the back of the engine. It's not getting enough airflow, so it's going to overheat. It's a common problem on the Triumph Tigers. So if you do have this problem, it starts off to feel like it's going to be a flat battery, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've just had this out for a little bit of a run. Unfortunately, we did get to a point where I needed to go into a dealership. I had to turn the bike off and then it wouldn't start. Now luckily the dealership had a starter pack, so he kindly came out, put the clips on the battery, and it jumped back into life. So that got me back home. Now from what we've been told from the dealers, it's the sprag clutch that operates off the starter motor that is the most common problem. So we're going to be ordering one of these up from the dealership. It may take a few days or maybe a week to come, but we'll be back on that project once we've got that done. So hopefully you've enjoyed what we've seen today. We've got the new battery, we've got the new starter, we've got the starter relay. So basically everything starter related has been replaced. We've even checked the wiring and the earths. So everything has been gone through with a fine-tooth comb, if you like. So the next issue obviously now is the sprag clutch, and once that comes we'll be back on the build. So that's about it for today guys. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.